Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this parallel sessions on AI and AIGC. I'm Lian. I'm delighted to be your moderators for today's discussions. Before we dive into this heart of our sessions, let's take a moment to reflect on the incredible impact that the artificial intelligence and the AI-generated content are having on our world. In these sessions, we aim to explore the rapidly evolving landscape of AI and AIGC, understanding their implications, and discover how they are reshaping industries and our daily lives. Okay, so this session will run for approximately 2.5 hours. So I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Bai Qiang. Bai Qiang is a distinguished individual in the world of AI, serving as a founding partner of ableGPT and bringing a wealth of experience as a former head of iFLYTEK, Co Ltd. So one of the most popular topics in AI is generative algorithms, which have led to a thriving AIGC. So how do we envision the future of wealth creation in the age of AIGC? So please welcome Bai Qiang, Bai 总。
大家好。
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bai Qiang. I'm also very glad to be here to share and to discuss with you how AI can be monetized. And also, I graduate from the mathematics. I visited the States in the United States, 1990s. I made my webs in Purdue University. And also, Mr. Feng Zhouzi, who have also used WebLink, and which is done by myself. I started also the internet, the entrepreneurship, then iFLYTEK, which is more IoT-oriented ones. And from 2005, it was coincided with also the development of iFLYTEK as the co-leaders, and we went public. After which, I made entrepreneurship into the other fields, investment, including on film. And Schneider, Huang Jianxiang, we have a football company which is still available. Football, in my mind, is much more difficult than that of AI. We also have Web3 starting from 2007, right? I lived in Tokyo, and starting from last year, we found no matter OpenAI, Sam, they have launched GPT, and which means new business was generated. So I went back to my starting point. It's about AI. I'm not gonna talking about tech today. I know that you are more interested in how to make money, raise funds in this field. Okay, without further ado, this is my content. Start my journey of the entrepreneurship and a startup from 1990s. But I do agree, where there is a bubble, please, and try your best to make enough money before it pops up. When you have enough money, you can realize your ideal, the dream, especially to cross the cyclic moments. Amazon, as an example, at that time, at my first round of the internet, Amazon was not that unique or special, but the company rocks, outperforms. Bezos rocks. Another important reason is that whose background is Wall Street, who is much more capable of embracing for the capital market, who went IPO, after which who had additional placement, even if they are not in short of money. So when they encountered the bubble crisis, who is still much more affluent, who impact my thoughts of entrepreneurship. You have to connect to the capital market, and the iFLYTEK actually went public in Nasdaq, and that is my lesson, my inspiration at the second round of IPO entrepreneurship. This is a reverse takeover we did. Well, ableGPT is based on the characteristics of the AIGC. We have a lot of IB players, investors, AI experts. I'm not an AI expert anymore. The real AI expert is those who used to work for OpenAI from so Microsoft, and those who are at specific industries, including those in the specific fields of robotics, sports, etc. When I talk to our peers in different industries, we worked out the ableGPT. Its investment, it's also IB. Why? When we're talking about the round of generative AI development need to consolidate various resources, so it's really IB, but it's an incubator as well. If you are savvy on technologies who don't know how to carry out business, you need to incubate them. And you are also for management and a consultative service advisor, because you are working with different sectors. You need the McKinsey, BCG on management consulting. It's a very aggregate. So in the States, you make great jobs on to B, to business, AI to B, and which means you need to work very hard to work with the business side, the B side, so that you can really make momentum from this round of AI. I didn't want to explain what is a generative AI. Since we have made such a page, I think this is the hardest topic. Amazon announced $4 billion on LLM. For Microsoft is OpenAI. Amazon is I don't know how to pronounce it. Anthropic, is that right? Invest up to $4 billion in an AI startup. Anthropic, DeepMind, and Meta AI, and also Elon Musk, who has the XAI. And also China also has 130 LLM players. The world is now different. The States partnered with the players outside of China. China has its own, the AIGC, totally differently. Yeah, if you're gonna have startups and an application vertical model on AI, you really need to consider the market you face up against. If you face up against the overseas market, and you have different ways of playing. Otherwise, if you want to use OpenAI-based GPT, right, theoretically speaking, you are not allowed to use that. Chinese government didn't allow you to use that. How can you have access to funding? It's easier said than be done. When it comes to the monetization model, we need to make some analysis here when it comes to generative AI and its characteristics. I'm a fan of two important things. The first is especially the Star Wars. The other is the artificial ones, and the from Jin Yong. And for me, the Force is AI. Force, if you remember, it has a look and a chest force. It is not visible or touchable. If you believe it is available, and also from the Kung Fu story, martial arts, especially from also Huashan style, it's like internal work. Yeah, what I want to say is that characteristics of this round on AI may be different, as we were making startups in 1994, and also a lawyer, they worked with us, and we made a .com company. It went public in March 1998. At that time, everything is clear. You are only making .com player. And if you would be in the field of the APP, which is for mobile internet, but this round, what is your product format, right? You have no idea. And nowadays, it's still very difficult to be analyzed clearly. We saw many people spent a lot of time. They work very hard, But when it comes to AI, over 90% of their energies were spent something similar with that of mobile internet. How to make a great app, how to acquire customer, but this is not part of AI at all. So what is native AI and its product will determine how you can make money. If you want to learn more from what is native AI product, we actually have no idea. We may start from the characteristics of AI. It may cover nearly everything. How to launch AI and what other product should be launched. People may ask, there is no such a so-called AI native product, and it may be combined with robotics. That will be GPT-enabled robotics, or combined with the content, with even laws, legals, but it is to combine with the incumbent products. This is a saying, and from the current observation, it is not yes or no, right or wrong, but at the end of the day, AI will has its own native product. For us, we are bound, toxified by the old mindsets. Only the youngsters who can jump out of the box from the legacy will the new native AI products be generated. Okay. When it comes to especially making money, monetization, I think technology per se is not money making. OpenAI, actually, ChatGPT is a product for you to make fortunes. Yeah, ChatGPT appeals you. Otherwise, a stack of technologies don't appeal people. 99.9% people may not be interested in only the pure technologies. When we were in iFLYTEK, we encountered a similar problem. At that time, it is people from the same university. We didn't know what is the product. We had a lot of traps, and we encountered traps. And when Jobs bought pics from Lucas, who defined the high-tech company as the product, but it is actually deemed as hardware computer. It cannot be sold very well. And it is defined as software. No, it cannot work. But at the end of the day, Pixar has become the animation, they cut the ones. So it was initially a division of George Lucas's film, and later transformed into its own entity, money-making entity, which justifies its profit. Okay, so I'm going to also share with you 3 examples, including players in Japan, which is Uniforce. What is Uniforce? It is AI GC-based, decentralized DreamWorks. Okay. What does that mean? When you're talking about the generative AI, content generation matters as AI GC. No matter when it comes to words, videos, audios, it is much quicker than the generation of the contents in the past if you have no access to the investment of films. So when I make investment on the topic, I talk to producers and the directors. It was very struggling. You spend the time with them catering. Even before 12, they were very tired. But after that, they have feeling I'm inspirational. But I needed to actually sleep. And at midnight, you cannot even offend them, and you will beg them. And now with AIGC, you may invite a GPT to continuously produce the idea until you are satisfied. And from the inspiration it generated, you may pick up the ones you think as being of high quality and make analysis. And by the way, we started to use it from February. Yeah, first of all, it is a project of Web3 in Shanghai. We just fired the guy who is writing English articles, even who spent 6 years in the States, and who actually worked so bad, who has only spent time party. Yeah, with the GPT, we fired that guy. It's really 24/7. And when they are really very unhappy, you cannot slap that guy on the face. You cannot slap GPT on. My employees said if they hear the sound of my feet, they feel very anxious. And for me, when I'm making the company of the football, I hit slash desk. But you cannot slap GPT, but you can push GDP to make endless productions, to create various creativities. And when you were in Argentina, I was in Hong Kong, and he's in Tokyo and Beijing, and we can work online very well. We can create a consensus, follow the consensus, where we be able to do the content regardless of specific text, images, videos, audios.
So in this way, we can make sure that we become a virtual space, a virtual Hollywood, so that in the future, content generation will be different from the past. And you, even if you're met in person, but still you can distribute information, become friends, and X can make you give you money. And that is really the basic architecture of basic of our universe, which is we use the internet to cooperate, to create content by AIGC, then distribute to the internet to make money. And also we have a website version, part of Web3, which means you can even use a NFT token to make sure that your idea is yours, ownership, that is. And token can make sure your benefits is there and your profit is there. If the product you make it is sells so better, your token is more valuable than ever. And that is the next part of this product. And so we also look at the Japanese animation. There was someone looking at animation books in Japanese metro train. So we started with the traditional content distribution. Then we try to do the Web3 based distribution of content, which is we make money by Web3. And so a guy said that he is engaged in the e-commerce, cross-border e-commerce, and actually Mr. Zheng from Alibaba actually worked with me on similar projects on cross-border e-commerce, and young people are doing this cross-border e-commerce work for me. So when we talk about Japan, there were a lot of good products in Japan. What is their shortcomings? Japan has never changes. There are 40,000 Japanese time-honored companies, and only 3,000 have been listed. So which we have means that there are a lot of Japanese SMEs. They have a very good customership, but they do not embrace the present. They do not do marketing. They don't do description very well of the product. They don't even do the advertising of their product and company. So AIGC can help them. What does AIGC mean to them? Firstly, we want to we have make sure that AIGC can help the SMEs in Japan to distribute the products. If we sell these Japanese products into Turkey, we want to characterize that Turkish young people and ladies, which is easy for AIGC. And that second is distribution, whether it will TikTok or Instagram or Twitter or the Kuaishou, right, or Xiaohongshu. There was one shortcoming of the Japanese company, that is every quarter there is one text generated, but with AIGC, it's really a daily publishing of hundreds, even tens of thousands of books, text for marketing purposes on the internet. That is the strength of AIGC. How to make money? How to monetize it? You sell things, then you can make money, right? So this project is really a project we're working on, and a project that has a lot of capital support and interest. We want to try to acquire some supply chain so that we can improve the accessibility of our product and solutions to the Japanese companies. Next project is my personal favorite, which is the most successful cases of incubation, which is called GPT. Because beginning in 2014, I talked to Snyder and Huang Jianxiang, and we set up a company which is called Animation Sport. And it's a name of company. I personally is a big fan of football. I realized that this AI, because it generates content. So this round of AI generates content, and obviously this is not meaning anything to the sports, because sports is a content. Football is content. There's no AI and human-generated contents that can be more important than the actual physicality of playing the football. So sadly, we see so many things. You can just Google, you can search with GPT, and you can even use a plug-in 3.5 and a plug-in 4. So in the sport industry, they do not accept the or take the GPT very well. So why do we incubate this project of GPT? Why? Because we want to become the Hugging Face of the football domain. So Hugging Face is valued as 4.5 billion yuan, US dollars. That's really a GitHub in the AI. You can find these open source models, the open source instruments, software, and databases. And there will be more of these sorts in the future. But we know it's really a to be professional service provider. And in the beginning part, it's just an a collection of AI instruments. Today, we promote the Kick GPT, which is really a football GPT. It's really integrating all the data and the fans. So Arsenal is going to play against Man United. You want to post some pictures or videos to show your support for Man United or other way around. I do not negate the Arsenal but they. So therefore, you can just go to KitGPT and find content. If this content are not so good enough, I want to create my own content. You can use the models to create the kind of content you want. So that is really the KitGPT. And it's really a way to popularizing the GPT and AI, so every football fan can use it. Because now AI is so mysterious. I talked to my football friends, just like Snyder, Wesley Snyder. They really competed against the Messi for the championship, right? They did not know anything about AI. And 20 minutes later, they knew it after my explanation, but then two minutes later, they don't understand anymore. So we want to make sure that AI can really enter everybody's house and make sure people know it and know how to use it. So people want to ask, how do we make money with GPT? With traffic, we can make money. So Honda as a real estate developer is not worth working. People even think it's a joke. But and Honda is really good in investing in football. He wants to spend money in invest in the football. But by investing in football, I can do marketing, which means everybody know about Honda. And Honda's brand and reputation can make sure they can have access to this luxury plot and land. Before the football investment, Honda was so hard. They begged the CCTV to do advertising, but with football, they do not need to do any advertising. And CCTV was begging, the Honda in return. So KitGPT is really about traffic. And today I want to mention something else, that is possibly in the future, AIGC force on monetization is really coming from the traffic. Otherwise, the content of AIGC to that extent is not just a funny content, nothing serious. And it's nothing serious that AIGC can generate. If you want to, but if just funny and interesting, hilarious information, you can sell the traffic. People want to pay for fun, right? They pay money, then we get money. That is really the most suitable way of monetizing the GPT capacities. So last minute, let's look into the future. We sell services and sometimes brand products. We can even use the Honda methods. We can even make money if we are famous. Possibly in the future, there will be a new model. What is that? Which is a Web 3.0. Because many people you do the Web 3. The strength of Web 3 is that it can make sure that the invisible, intangible value can be very substantial and visible and tangible. And it means that an online influencer was just online. You need to negotiate. You have 30,000 fans and 1 million fans. How you need to charge the what is charging instead? But with Web3 or NFT or token, we can generate a new type of value system within which there will be an exchange house, and in the future, I would believe it will be a good way to monetize the generative AI or AIGC, because generative AI or GAI, if we just remember, it's really a strong tool, and it makes sure that in every corner it can unleash all possibilities, but it's not so sure. For instance, when you are using a cell phone, you need to get an Uber or Didi with your cell phone app. But this run at AI is not so clear. The value is not so determined or so clear cut. How can we harness and value the measurable value of the AI? We think we can use Web3. If anyone who is interested in combining it with Web3, come to talk to us, and we want to engage young people in the AI-based and Web3-based value system. It's a prototype, and based on this prototype, you can have your exchange house, and but that is your thing. We just want to create a protocol, and that is something we want to do the most at this moment. And due to time limit, I've used over my time, and I welcome people to talk to us because Japanese government supports AI. Sun Zhengyi, SoftBank boss, really loved AI, but there's no people in Japan. People under 45 years old in Japan, they refuse to work so hard, not as hard as Chinese people. They are not so hardworking. They are not so motivated or driven like Chinese people. Therefore, I do believe that if Chinese teams can look at the Japanese wealth, and so team plus money means that in this explosive stage of AI, we can really win the battle, eventually win the war. Instead of just Chinese companies doing outsourcing work for Japanese, it's working together, right, to create the AI's TikTok, because TikTok is the Music Lee and Lewis's work, but in AI time, what Chinese boy is most good at is really application and developing applications. But to make sure these things are applicable and rolled out to the rest of the world, Japan as a country to go to, because it's really freer than every other country in the world. Thank you very much.